now, but don't quote me on it. The Self Luv Show, no knock, warrant, tyranny. Lock him up.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
In entering upon this course of instruction, each of you should, so far as possible, lay aside for the time being all previous theories and beliefs. By so doing, you will be saved the trouble of trying
all the way through the show. I don't hear sound anymore, Bob. Is that on my end or what?
Into old wineskins, end quote. Luke chapter 5, verse 37. If there is anything as we proceed which you don't understand or agree with, just let it lie passively in your mind until you have enjoyed the entire show. For many statements that would at first arouse antagonism and discussion will be clear and easily accepted a little farther on. After the show is over, if you wish to return to your old beliefs and ways of living, you are at perfect liberty to do so.
There we go.
But for the time being, be willing to become as a little child, for said the Master in spiritual things, quote, except ye become as little children, ye shall in no wise enter into the kingdom of heaven, end quote. Matthew chapter 18, verse 3. If at times there seems to be repetition, please remember, the Self Luv Show is a lesson, not a lecture.
What's the point of life? Lord, why do we do it? And what's the point of strife? Pimps and whores see right through it. They see fluid. All Johns ain't saints, and St. John knew it. Tricks are preachers, 12 disciples, and so-called druids. See, solid. Get married and have shorties after college. So what's the point? Vibrate love, go share knowledge. Silence is violence. Stupid is as stupid does. Join the Give Back Gang Alliance. Gang, gang.
Block right here. I should call this shit no block. It's 10 o'clock. Where the fuck y'all niggas at? This what y'all wanted me in Chicago? O block right here. I should call this shit no block. It's 10 o'clock. Where the fuck y'all niggas at? Niggas ain't outside. It's only 10 p.m. Where the fuck y'all niggas at, blood?
O block right now. Where we at? Tell you something, man. This Nino Brown, man. I'm live on O block right now. Where we at? This O block. I'm from Miami. I just want to tell niggas, man, we gotta stop killing each other, man. Yeah, this shit ain't about nothing. All that killing shit, we gotta work together, man. Stop killing each other, my nigga. I had to come over here and tell niggas that shit, my nigga.
I'm right here. See where I'm at. I'm out here. Black Star Line cigars. For grown man. On some grown man stuff. And to the PDs, stop doing that killing. Please stop doing that killing.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us. We might not be the ones, but let's not be selfish, and because we're not going to change the world, let's not talk about how we should change.
24 years ago today, iconic rapper Tupac Shakur was shot here in Las Vegas.
The rapper was shot inside of a BMW while stopped at a red light on Koval and Flamingo. We all know the story. He then died 6 days later. The shooting happened after a Mike Tyson fight against Bruce Sheldon at MGM Grand. And then there was a brawl inside of the lobby right after that fight. Tupac was in the car with Marion Suge Knight, who was grazed by a bullet. No one has ever been arrested for Tupac's murder.
And even in this instance, if I could be of service to a 9-year-old girl or a 19-year-old woman or girl who wants to be a woman, is to really remember that self-love is the best way that you can receive love from anybody else, because it's coming from you. A lot of times we forget that. We look externally for this love. We look externally for this feeling of validation and adoration and approval, and it has to come from within.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
These mics can't handle the truth. Mics. Like, share, subscribe. Let's get them in the building. That's right. Hey, stop the killing. Bullets and boomerangs out there. Murder, suicide out there. Chi-Town. Music, please. Yeah, buddy. Silverbacks are black. Yeah, buddy, the gorillas are in the building. Self Love. Vision. I'm just a kid from Chicago. I'm just a kid from Chicago. Yeah, buddy. Chi-Town in the building. Like, share, subscribe. Let's fill it up. Tattoo Tyranny tonight. Welcome to Chi-Town's very own The Self Love Show. We got two mottos around here. Motto number uno. On earth, as it is in heaven. Praise to the ancestors. My mama Sky. Dean Shelley and all the rest. Praise be. Motto number deuce. As above, so below. Right now, we can be found Malcolm exclusively, right here on the YouTube channel. This Ain't That Network. And as we say affectionately, TATN. I'm just a kid from Chicago. Yeah, buddy. In the building. Y'all like my grill? This is your co-host, 9 Millie. Also known as Self Love. Just trying to make a change. What down, Shot Town. What down, Cobra Commander out there in the deep. What up? Hey, y'all, repeat after me, or you can type it in the chat. I am greater than my excuse. I am greater than my excuse. I am greater than my excuse. It's a mantra. Today, we live, as usual. It's Wednesday, Hump Day, February 9, 2022. As always, you cats can be any place in this magnanimous universe. Thankfully, we all chose to be here together. Here together. What down, brother Wordsmith? What you manifesting today?
Love. Know me, man. I'm manifesting love. What you manifesting?
You know me, G. Pure, unfiltered, unfettered. I've been told harsh is what they say. Harsh. He's harsh. Do I need some tea? Let me get some tea because I'm hoarse. I've also been told tough love, but love just the same, Brody. Love just the same. What's going on in your neck of the shot, Brody?
The governor is lifting the mask mandate. He had a press conference today. So by the end of the month, except for schools will still have to wear the mask.
Talking about governor? You talking about Governor Pricker?
Yeah.
All right. Pricker. That's Governor Pricker.
Okay. Pritzker. Yeah. Pricker. He's a pricker.
Yeah, well, Dr. God, a.k.a. Dr. Fauci, made some sort of statement that we should be over the hump with, I guess we're going into the endemic now, according to Dr. God Fauci.
Dr. Fauci. He's Dr. Fauci. Is he a doctor? He's definitely Fauci. Everything he says is false.
That's Fauci.
Yeah, Fauci.
If I can't say pricker, you can't say Fauci.
I agreed with pricker. I said, yeah, he's a pricker.
Yeah.
He's Fauci.
Small ups to Dr. Fauci, and smaller ups to the governor pricker out there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No ups for Fauci or pricker.
Hey, so like Cobra Commander said, like, share, subscribe, comment. This is interactive. This is a rather serious topic tonight. No knock knock. Who's there? Pig who? Oink oink. Some sort of joke in there. But what to expect today? For those who don't know, we always started out with the Self Love Show quote of the day. And then we jump into our MGD video. That's more growth and development. Once again, that's more growth and development. That's our platform. And then we run a couple of videos. The first one is usually Tattoo Tyranny. Self Love and I, we react to something in the recent news. And then we get another even shorter video, How to Move or Not to Move, where we say if that's how we should be moving in the Black First community vis-a-vis the hood. And then after we do that, we roll on to the Dome teaser. Got a little special one for you today, Self. It's a different format, but I just want to challenge you and chat a little bit more. Is that a challenge? You just trying to make us think this ain't English class. You read a book. I ain't read a book since white man told me which book to read. But anyway, exercise your minds, y'all. That's your strongest muscle. And then, of course, we'll jump into our topic, which is knock knock. It's the no-knock tyranny. Locke, Amir, rest in peace, lock him up. And then, of course, we got, and condolences to his family. And then we'll tell you about next week's sneak peek, what we got coming for y'all next week. And then we wrap it up with my personal favorite part of the whole shebang. And that's where this brother right here to my left wraps it all up in a metaphysical, off the rip, top of the dome, piece of prose that summarizes pretty much what everybody's been talking about. And I think it's quite genius, if I do say so himself. But first, we're going to jump into the announcements. You got any announcements, Self Love?
Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, share far and wide.
Facts. And this is Black History Month. Make sure y'all subscribe to TATN History. We're dropping some gems on that channel. Another video is going to roll out tomorrow. Also had a great time, man, at the Founders Charter Day this weekend.
Yeah, it was a wonderful gathering, and we kicked it.
Did we hardly kick it, or did we kick it hard?
Man, we kicked it hard.
Man, I had my back head locked up on me, and it didn't help when we were stepping with the brothers. And hey, how low can you go? Oh boy, yeah. Self, I always come back with either a flu, covert, hoarse. Lose my voice. I made sure I wasn't going to come back with the flu or covert or lose my voice, but did come back with a wrenching backache. But God is good, huh?
Absolutely, greatest ever.
Greatest ever. Greatest ever. You guys, as Self Love just said, like, share, subscribe. Let's grow this movement. It's the More Growth and Development movement. And as Pac said at the top of the show, maybe we can't, be the start of revolution, but we're going to spark the change. And that's just what the goal is once we get to 9,999 subscribers. So we need y'all to do y'all part. And we got some great guests lined up for y'all down the road. But we got off to a late start because whenever we do these topics, the Triple K tends to hack us. Right? Or is it coincidence? So?
Yeah, it's not coincidence, not at all.
Yeah, I'm going to have to start changing the title or something until the last minute so we can, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Yeah. But, yeah. Enough of my yapping, though. I'm going to turn it over to this brother so he can handle his business, and then we can push this show forward.
Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, share it far and wide. We need to get this information to our nation. And we need your help because the algorithm in this platform is not helping or welcoming. They shadow ban us. This doesn't go out to people like it normally would. As always, we have the More Growth and Development platform, which we're building the Self Love Nation off of. But before that, we have the Self Love Show quote of the day. We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children. Once again, we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children. It's an African proverb. And here we go, More Growth and Development platform. Silverback More Growth and Development platform. Number 1, repair our nation via reparations. We demand our silver back. Number 2, to connect our breadwinners with our activists. And 3, show an accurate depiction of African American Chi-Town. 4, shine a light on positive influences. 5, heal our community one person at a time. 6, to provide an unfiltered platform for our influencers. 7, recycle the black dollar. 8, to provide mentors for the mentorless. 9, to close the gap between us and our pink kinsmen.
Absolutely. What say ye, Self Love, about number 10?
Hey, protect our women and children.
By any, and I mean any, means necessary.
Period.
Facts. What are we here for if we can't at least do that?
Doing a lousy job if we don't.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, we had a fantastic show last week. We had some firsthand accounts of close encounters. That show was entitled, Are We Alone? Are We Alone? Got any additions or updates, Self Love?
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I advise you to, if you weren't here last week, look it up.
Facts. Look it up. And if there's any single moms out there, they don't have mentors or what have you, this is a pretty good show. It's we're mentors for the mentorless, right? So,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? So that's what we're on over here. So we try to keep it somewhat, well, we keep it PG-13. We try not to say try.
Right.
It's an oxymoron, I think. That's like never say never. But bro, yeah, did you see the news report about my man who's refusing to take the vax, the jab?
You know, stay pretty much unplugged.
It's all good, baby, baby. Our crack production squad's got something served up for you.
Uh-oh. I don't think that's it.
That is not it.
No COVID vaccine, no heart transplant. That's the ultimatum facing a young dad today. What? DJ Ferguson's heart is failing fast. Ferguson was at the top of the transplant list at world-renowned Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston. But when they found out he's not vaxxed against COVID,
that hair ain't real.
They took him off the list. I spoke to his mother, Tracy.
What?
So why doesn't your son believe in the COVID vaccine?
He just doesn't believe that a vaccine can be manufactured in months. Based on what he's read, and vaccines typically take years to evolve into an effective vaccine, and with all this division within our country, it's hard to trust anyone.
A rep from the hospital tells Inside Edition the COVID-19 vaccine is one of several vaccines required for transplant candidates in order to create both the best chance for a successful operation and also the patient's survival.
We have very few organs, so we have to decide who's going to get them. And the way we decide is we look at who's most likely to survive the longest. So by saying I don't want a vaccine means that this patient is more likely to get COVID and die from COVID. And we could instead give the heart to someone who will live longer with it.
Ferguson has 2 kids and a third on the way. His pregnant partner, Heather Dawson, posted an update today in which she suggested he was having a change of heart about the vaccine. Is DJ in a position where he now needs a vaccine to get a life-saving procedure? Yes. Is he going to choose to die instead of getting it? No. Will your son get the vaccine?
We don't know. We're taking every day. Every day his condition changes, and DJ wants to live for his family. He could change his mind.
Wow. So I got a question for you before I get into whether or not that's tyranny or not. If you had not had the vax and you're in his position, Would you acquiesce?
I mean, it's almost get the vax or we're gonna let you die. So I think I probably would. I mean, if I'm in this position and, you know, I still got my little people that I need to take care of and all of that.
Yeah, they make it sound like, you know, he's got a sclerosis of the liver or something, you know, something that he's doing to himself. You know what I mean? But I guess with the heart condition, they do say that's a major precursor or pre-existing thing that's taking people out of here. But I don't know if they've been his age. I don't have enough data sets to really comment.
And this, the issue I'm having with it is they have said that most of these vaccines, the side effects affect your heart.
Yeah, I've heard something like that too, but you got to be careful.
Yeah.
on YouTube, but that is what I've heard. You don't want to go out like Joe Rogan.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? He went and watched the movies with the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, he's smart.
Yeah.
Which is triple K code for. What's that?
He can forget him, but I said it a little more.
He can duck a sick.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds palpable. So, tyranny? Tattoo tyranny or no?
Absolutely.
Medical apartheid even?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was next up on the list. Somebody could have told him, like, man, what happened? He got right there and he said, okay, that's wild. But, hey, I hope this guy, I think they hadn't decided I think he's going to take it, Self. I think he's like you saw the little baby he had.
Yeah. I mean,
in that case, why don't you just put me under, give me the vax, and then say we gave you the shot. You're going to get you know what I mean? I don't know. If there's anybody out there, if I hadn't taken the vax and I'm in that situation, I don't know. I'd have to think on it hard because, I don't have the little ones.
Right.
Yeah, they call cats like me selfish, self-centered, and narcissistic.
Nah.
I'm not going to say I've taken the jab. I'm not going to say that, and I'm not going to say I didn't take the jab. I'm gonna take the Aaron Smug Rogers defense on this. There's a lot of people who have reservations about taking the jab.
Oh, he said he was immunized.
Yeah, that's right. I'm immunized too. I've had plenty of jabs in grade school. And it's a shot anyway. We got to be careful. Can't speak your mind on this platform. So, all right. Well, we both agree that that's tattoo tyranny. So now we're going to jump in on road warriors out there. How to move or not to move. Big ups to our crack production staff.
It's the heart-stopping moment. Shots ring out on a busy Miami highway.
What the?
Video of the dangerous road rage incident was just released to the public.
Skinhead.
I saw this. But
the video starts with Eric Popper, a civilian fire inspector, looking relaxed and singing.
Fire inspector.
Next, police say the 30-year-old cuts off another car.
Oh my God.
You can hear the other driver honking his horn. Popper glares at the rearview mirror. He says the other driver is tailgating and making obscene hand gestures. Moments later, Popper opens his center console and carefully removes a handgun. When the other vehicle pulls up, Popper opens fire.
What the?
Cops say he fired 11 times. If you look closely, you can see
the other driver
apparently throwing a water bottle at the car. Popper says he thought he was being fired upon and was acting in self-defense.
That's ridiculous.
Well, you see, ever since they let what's his face get off on a self-defense claim? What's his name? The
Rittenhouse, whatever.
Yeah, Rittenhauser. Yeah, everybody thinks they can get a self-defense claim, but Is that how you'd like to see us moving in our community, Self? Somebody flips you off and throws a water bottle at your car and you just start busting out?
No. No way, shape, or form. That's crazy. That's lunacy. He needs to be locked up.
I agree. Lock him up. Ace put in the chat, Coach. Yeah, that's Coach right around. Coach would have let his windows down because he loves his cars and his truck, you know what I mean? Big ups to Coach out there, big ups. So we can agree that that's not how to move out there.
No, not at all.
Yeah, well, you know, if you buy a gun.
They didn't say whether that dude got locked up or anything, did they?
I think he did. He caught a case. I think he did. They're getting him for unsafe discharge of a handgun. And I would say attempt murder should be added too, huh?
He shot 11 times. He could have killed anybody.
Correct. He's definitely going to have to cop to the unsafe discharge because that wasn't safe at all. He said, how can you shoot through your own windows? He shot through his windshield, and nobody's shooting at you while 11 shots got off. You should realize nobody's shooting back.
He probably couldn't hear because he was shooting so much.
And listening to crap on his radio. So, you know, if you guys want someone to shoot at you, I'd say that's a good way to go about it, right?
Yeah, that was lunacy.
Facts. All right, so like, share, subscribe. Let's get them in here. We're going to jump to the dome teaser, and then we're going to get on topic. The topic is these no-knock warrant tyranny. Amir, lock him up. That's the topic today. We're going to jump right into it. But Self, yeah, it's a little twist on this. You got to figure out what the proverb is. The answer to the riddle is going to be, you know, a proverb or, you know, American colloquialism. So here we go, you guys. Ace, don't Google it. All right. Under no circumstances compute the number of your barnyard fowl previous to their incubation. You got that one?
Mm-hmm.
You got the proverb?
Yes.
All right, so I'll repeat it again for the chat rats. Under no circumstances compute the, type it in there, Self, so we don't have any people don't think, you know. Under no circumstances compute the number of your barnyard fowl previous to their incubation. What is the proverb? What is the proverb? Self Luv typed it in the chat. I'm going to take a picture of his answer so that it's time stamped. And you guys don't think we're running some sort of sham over here. I can't help it if he's smarter than you guys. We're quicker with it. I won't say he's smarter because that's a relative term. But I can't help it if he thinks quicker than you guys and is less retarded. Can you say less special needs than the chat? We got a smart chat.
Yeah, we do.
All right. Yeah, we do. Very smart chat. All right, Self. So enough of the appetizers out there.
Let's quench the self-love nation's thirst.
All right. Look like Ace came up with it. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Huh? Ace came up with don't count your chickens before they hatch. That's rather impressive, Ace. I'm going to put so you guys can see that Brother Wordsmith had the answer. Oh, doesn't want to give it to me. Well, whatever. He had the same thing. And you guys got to know one thing here. We'll give you guys a W for that just because. So we'll give you guys a W for that. So we got some guests popping up. If production can let them in, we'll let them introduce themselves, and then we'll get on topic here. And let's see here. Looks like we got Nick Whitted in the building. He's a freedom fighter out there. He's in. What's going on, Tar?
My computer was doing something crazy. It wouldn't let me tell him to ask him to turn this camera on.
Yeah. Let me see here. What up, Nick?
Okay.
That ain't Nick. Yeah, Nick, I was gonna say, Nick, you're getting younger every day. You're like
broken curses.
You're like Benjamin Buttons. All right, so we'll get this going. Let's get this. Wait for everybody to settle in.
Let's get some light in there or something.
What's up, Nick? With it?
What's up?
Hey, you got a little more light you can pop on, bro?
Ma, hold on.
I'm surprised Ace got that.
We're putting some more light right now.
Jay Broken Curses, is that you?
Yes, sir.
Hey, sir is my daddy, but I appreciate the respect. Yes, appreciate the respect. Are you a rapper too?
A little bit.
All right. Boy, those look like some serious chairs.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, with it. Give us a quick introduction. Let everybody know your background and what you're doing out here as far as the freedom fight, and then we're gonna jump on and start talking about Brianna Taylor.
All right. I'm Nick with it. I'm a 12-year-old artist. I'm / activist. I started off before music doing activism, saying poems. I still do. I do speeches. And I just fight for justice. I fight for equality for everybody. And I've been out in the streets ever since I was I say 10 years old. I'll go far back as 6 years old, feeding the homeless, and then protesting, speaking for Black people, speaking for Black rights, speaking for everybody, just equality. And I've been out helping our houseless friends since I was around 6. So we've just been trying to help out our community as much as we can.
That's what's up. Go ahead. You got something to add to that, Nick?
So I also want to share an incident. So Joy Hoffmeister, she tried to have me come and speak. She tried to have me come and speak at a board full of straight suburban, or not even suburban, that's more than suburban, like really rich, top high class. All right, so let me tell y'all who Joy is first. So Joy, she is running for governor, I'm correct? She's running for governor this year. She's currently the superintendent for schools, and so she's currently the superintendent for schools in Oklahoma.
Oh Lord, okay, Mama's coming in. Hold up, here we go. Hey, Self Luv.
What's going on, Mama?
Hey, I'm over here combing my daughter's hair, but okay. So y'all know I work for Miss Connie, right? Well,
yeah, she was on the show. Big ups to Connie.
Yep, big ups.
Shout out to Connie Johnson, 2022.
That's right. When she wins, I'm moving to Oklahoma. I ain't told my wife yet, but go ahead.
That's right. Okay, so Nicholas is a middle schooler here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Joy Hoffmeister is the superintendent of Oklahoma schools. Okay. Joy Hoffmeister happens to be a Republican who just flipped sides to run as Democrat against Miss Connie. Well, the day before it came out that she was paid $15 million to make sure Miss Connie, a Black woman, never made it to the running floor, she asked Nicholas to speak for her. And Nicholas declined the most gangster, respectful way in the world. He was like, no, I'm not going to be used. But what? What'd you say? There we go. I set it up for him. Now he can get it out. There you go.
So I politely refused, and I asked her if she wanted to debate me.
Well, Nick, she got $15 million in her bag. Look, I'll come on your show for $333,000. But they probably could have just gave that money to Connie, and you know what I mean? That's wild. $15 million. Where's that money coming from?
The money's coming from the government. It's also coming from what I think are taxes and the money that was given out for people to give out to COVID people. But also, they could have gave that to the schools to improve our teaching. Like Oklahoma right now is 40. They flip between 48th and 46th in education, and they're we're number one in mass incarceration in the United States of America.
Facts. Wow. Hey, well, way to stand on your square, bro. That's big ups to you on that. Today we talking about no-knock warrant tyranny, and that's why I asked y'all here, because I know y'all be on this type of stuff. So I just wanted to give some background, because we know recently, again, in Twin Cities, you know, we had a no-knock warrant. But we're going to start out with the original case. That was Brianna Taylor. So anybody, can y'all describe what happened to Brianna Taylor for those who might not be in the know?
Well, that's just a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, police ran up in Brianna Taylor's house, and shots ended up being fired, and Brianna Taylor ended up being one of the casualties from that altercation.
They allegedly, her boyfriend was a drug dealer. We don't know that for fact. That's just what the police said. They say they had a no-knock warrant. You know, a lot of times they do, a lot of times they don't, and they will produce one after the fact of the fuck up to cover their own ass. But we don't know what exactly happened with that. I know Casey Goodson Jr. was shot in his back while he was coming home getting Subway for his niece and his grandmother. We know that Jesse Cedillo was shot with his hands up. We know Zontorius Johnson was shot while following police commands.
Facts.
Who else? Yeah. Who else you got, Nick? We know Joel Anthony. His family called for assistance in a mental health crisis, and he had a knife, holding it in the air, and the police unloaded the clip on him.
Then, of course, there's George Floyd. But let me give you a little background. Breonna Taylor, a 26-year-old African-American, I believe it was her ex-boyfriend that they said was selling dope. And so I think her new boyfriend was over. It just so happened. She was a 26-year-old black woman. She was fatally shot in her Louisville, Kentucky apartment on March 13th, 2020. When white officers Jonathan Mattingly, Brett Hankinson, and Miles Cosgrove of the Louisville Metro Police Department, LMPD, forced entry into the apartment as part of an investigation into a drug dealing operations. Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, was inside the apartment when the plainclothes officers knocked on the door and then forced entry. The officers claimed they announced themselves as police before entry, but Walker said he did not hear any announcement, thought the officers were intruders. Also, the neighbors said they didn't hear any announcement as well. Walker said he fired a warning shot down towards the legs. The shot hit Manling in the leg, and then the officers proceeded to fire 32 shots in return. Walker was in the matrix. He was somehow unhurt, but Taylor, who was behind Walker, was hit with 6 slugs and died. According to 12, Taylor's home was never searched for drugs. Walker was charged with assault and attempted murder of a police officer, but the charges were dismissed with prejudice. Speaking of prejudice, 12 months later, on June 23rd, 2020, LMPD fired Hankinson for blindly firing through the covered patio door and window of Taylor's apartment. A settlement was paid, $12 million. On September 23rd, a grand jury indicted Hankinson on 3 counts of wanton endangerment for endangering not Taylor, but endangering Taylor's neighbors with these wild shots. None of the officers involved in the raid have been charged in Taylor's death. Cosgrove was determined to have fired the fatal shot that killed Taylor. On October 2nd, 2020, recordings from the grand jury investigation into the shootings were released. Two of the jurors released a statement saying that the grand jury was not presented with homicide charges against the officers. Several jurors have also accused the Kentucky Attorney General, Daniel Cameron, and the police of a cover-up of what happened. The shooting of Taylor by police officers led to numerous protests that added to those across the U.S. against tyranny and racism. When a grand jury did not indict the officers for a death, further civil unrest ensued. So we want to focus in, y'all, on these no-knock warrants today, because after this, it was my assumption that a whole lot of changes have been made to prevent, such an occurrence from happening. So I'm gonna ask Self Love. You got a house, you're asleep, you may or may not have a blick, you know what I mean? And you wake up and there's people in your house screaming at you. Is it possible that you might bust one at them?
Likely. It's likely I'm gonna bust at him.
And didn't he have the gun? Like didn't even have his finger on the trigger. It was properly held. Like we saw that on the footage that he properly had his finger out like this off of the trigger.
Yeah, you're jumping ahead of me. You're talking about Amir Locke. We're on Brianna Taylor. We're going to get to Amir, but yes, that's true. Should the judges, Amberly, that sign these warrants be held accountable?
Absolutely. Whenever I'm getting a bill collector on the phone and they're telling me they're fixing to come repo my car, cut my lights off, I'm like, you do understand you're part of the problem too, right? Even though it's a very minimal part, you're part of the problem. Well, judges are half of the problem. If you are co-signing lives being taken, you're definitely 50% of the problem. And they should be held accountable. I think every judge, every police officer, even district attorneys should have to have liability insurance for when they mess up.
And I want to point out to you guys, and that was well stated, the no-knock warrant, I think it started in 69 or somewhere around there. And that's when they started doing this. Over 80%, when the cases of somebody's shot or killed from a no-knock warrant, over 80% are with African Americans. So the law, when it was written specifically to go into African Americans' houses, and they were saying where's cases of domestic stuff going on, and they can just creep up in your house and start shooting. So this is nothing new. It's just now, I guess people are being more woke. There's more people like you and Nick out there on the front lines, calling them on this BS, for lack of a better term. So anybody got something to add to that?
Just a lot more exposure going on with it, and it's very much necessary because it's been going on forever, like you said, and now it's being exposed, and roaches were running because the lights turned on.
Facts. Do y'all feel like enough was done? I mean, he got the $12 million settlement. Brianna, rest her soul, and condolences to her family, is gone. Ain't no coming back from that. Do you feel like enough was done after that case? Because there was some, I guess, a federal, not a moratorium, but different states had tweaked their no-knock warrant laws. And we're going to jump into Amir shortly in the second half. But that mayor, he ran his campaign. Mayor Fry ran his campaign. He literally had on his website that he banned the no-knock warrant, which he didn't.
No.
So
they're still saying that. They're saying that he went and implemented it the next day and things like that. Well, then I guess your judge, and your police need to be on the chopping block, my guy, because everybody messed up then.
That is facts. So, man, that is all facts. So, I want to, and y'all can go ahead with some commentary. I'm trying to find a video I'm gonna show on the.
Are you in Atlanta right now? Are you in ATL?
I'm in Inglewood, Cali.
Oh, okay.
Cali, yeah.
Okay. Inglewood, what it do? Inglewood with an I, not an E.
Well, the E is the one in the shy, but this is the one.
Or Colorado. We lived in
Inglewood,
Colorado for like 13 years. So.
Oh, wow.
That's right.
Yep. Everybody is spelling wrong with the I. I'm like, no, it's the E.
That is.
Yes.
Let's see, Amir Locke.
E is definitely here.
Police.
Yeah, so we walked with Travis Nagby in Kentucky at one of the very first Brianna Taylor rallies. And a lot of people don't talk about the consequences that activists face But Travis Nagby was assassinated. He was told he was gonna die. He ended up dying in a carjacking the next day. And he was the lead activist in Brianna Taylor. Every rally you see that baby in front with his megaphone, and he's no longer with us. And Nicholas stood beside him in a rally. And I think he was 19.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and they claim that we have rights, like you were going into earlier. You know, he was a licensed gun holder, but like a black man doesn't have the same rights on that Second Amendment. That's just giving 12 a right to shoot you and say he had a gun.
And he
LaRue
was
Bratcher. We're watching that with
slate.
LaRue Bratcher
That's
happening
crazy.
right now. You do have the right to bear arms as long as you're white or rich. You sure do. You can bear arms if you're white or rich. You sure can. But if you are black or poor,
No, if you're black, you got the right to wear a short sleeve shirt and bear arms. That's what they mean by that.
Huh. You know, Nick turns 13 in a couple of weeks, and Lord. In the state of Oklahoma, he can go to an adult penitentiary at 13.
Oh my God.
And I know there's 7 juvenile lifers currently, kids that are doing life in prison that will never come home, and they were sentenced under the age of 18. So that's a very real scary scenario that we're approaching. And it's sad that we're not going hard for the 13th. We're preparing for what's to come, you know?
Facts. And I'm going to pause y'all cameras because we're going to play this video. If production could pause their cameras, y'all stand by. We're going to play this video. And I'm wondering, like, man, would they have a skeleton key? Would the landlord give them the key? Like, all right, so here we go. Fair use. Pause your camera, so. Fair use.
I'm going to show the exchange in slow motion, and then it'll show on video at full speed. And we do want to warn you, this video may be difficult to
This
watch.
ain't showing.
Because, all right.
You know what, Self? I'm going to put it up on the thing, and we just play it, man.
Okay.
You can put the cameras back on in case they got something to say. What were you saying, Amberly?
Oh.
Let's see here. Self, it's at the bottom of the row.
I didn't know that you could hear us, but we were just saying, even with warrants, even with probable cause, you're still not supposed to shoot and kill me if I'm guilty.
Absolutely not. And just because I got a gun in my hand, you tell me to drop it.
Yeah. We watched Sontorius Johnson get followed by the police. Police say, stop or I'll shoot. He stops. Police says, turn around and drop the gun or I'm going to shoot. He does that. Police unload the clip. So what?
They're not throwing the book at these people. That's
right. They don't have that liability with their freedom. Taxpayers can pay all day for mistakes of others, but unless their freedom is in jeopardy, then it's never going to change. Don't you agree?
Definitely.
Facts.
Police, they aren't held up to the same standards that minorities are held up to, and they aren't held up to the proper standards. That's why so much police killings go on, because if police knew that if they were to kill somebody, they would go to jail for it, they wouldn't kill people.
And Lil Nick, not just jail, I'm putting them in general population with the animals.
Qualified immunity.
Yeah. No safety. You got to go down with the rest of them.
Yeah, go to jail with the other savages, quote unquote. Right.
I'm ready.
Label them.
And then definitely being a police officer in jail, that's wicked.
All right, so look, I'm going to pause y'all cameras right quick. We got this video ready. We're playing it under fair use, y'all. So stand by, and then we're going to unpack this video. Roll it when you're ready, production.
Now, this is breaking news from WCCO.
Good evening, and thanks for watching CBS News Minnesota.
You can fast forward it to where they start showing the video.
The Minneapolis Police Department has just released a copy of a video taken during a
Look at 'em breaking
SWAT
in.
raid in downtown.
Right there. They got it playing it slow, so you're going to hit it, and then they're going to play it fast. Look, he got his gloves on like an everyday criminal. He don't want his fingerprints. All of this because they don't want drug dealers to be able to flush the evidence down the. Look at this guy, he don't know who's coming in there.
He's not even awake.
You see the stick Self? He never pointed it at 12. And
he's not even awake.
9 seconds after they counted. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1006. 7 seconds. 7 seconds, and they supposed to be announcing who they are before they enter.
First in slow
you can kill
motion
that production.
and then at normal.
They supposed to be announcing who they are before they unlock the door and go in, so that way they don't get shot at, and they're not doing it. So they ruined the spirit of the law. You see how they were announcing before they entered the threshold? Police, police. So they really ruined the spirit of what everybody's asking them to do. You're supposed to be outside saying police, 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 and then you enter.
Yeah, it's tyranny at its worst.
Could you imagine it? Didn't they do the Black Panthers like that?
Absolutely. Fred Hampton in the city of Chicago.
Yep.
Bro was asleep like that. We bro put this in up and they killed him.
Right. Now, he did have a gun in his hand, but, I mean, you know, some people sleep more comfortable with a gun.
People ran up in his house.
Yeah. Right. I mean, he wasn't even fully awake yet. You know what I mean? Trying to understand what's going on. Everybody coming in there like that.
And his parents said that he's a heavy sleeper, too. You know what I mean?
That's literally the whole reason of having protection is if somebody runs up in your house. Like, I don't understand that ideology. Can't you like yell from outside, come out? Like, what the heck? Can you wake us up first?
Correct. Exactly. But they said that the reason this no-knock exists is for domestic cases or you're trafficking. You know, maybe you got a hostage in there and they just want to creep up on you. But now they took it to mean so that the dope dealer don't get a chance to get rid of the evidence.
So drugs are more important than life? Really? Oh, okay. You know, that's just like Jesse Cedillo. So an alleged stolen car is more important than an 18-year-old kid's life.
Facts.
Really? Yeah, it's just kind of. Me and Nicholas were looking at statistics on how many fatal accidents happen from police chases, because Nicholas is actually writing a bill that would hold police accountable if they are chasing a car that does not have a kidnapped child or a kidnapped person or somebody having immediate harm done to them at the moment, because there's a lot of deaths that happen just from police chasing people. So
yeah, they're not allowed to do that in Chicago. They're told to call off the chase because we had too many people getting killed by police or by the person fleeing, and it was for nonsense like a stolen car or something like that. So there's precedence, Nick. In LA, they drive all over the place for somebody he shoplifted at the store, and they're doing 100 all through the side streets chasing this guy. And I'm like, for what? You'll catch him next time. Sometimes you guys say, we'll get him next time. So actually, Amir Locke, and we'll get into it shortly, Self Love, he wasn't even on the warrant.
At all.
No. He's sleeping. Yeah, he was sleeping at somebody's house.
Yeah, and you break in the crib and he got a thing. What is he supposed to do? I mean, they're not supposed to shoot him. You can't be in there 7 seconds and you know.
Self, they said that one of them kicked the couch. Now imagine you in there asleep, knocked out. Somebody just kicked the couch on. Of course you're going to get up with your gun out.
Yeah.
And if they slow,
how many times do we have to get on the ground in the middle of the night because of shots fired? Like, how many times?
Like, bro, like if someone was to run, like if someone was to run in our house and we were to have a firearm, of course that. So my mom, she doesn't really believe in firearms. She keeps a stick under her bed, like a literal wooden stick, like a big wooden stick. So if somebody were to run in our house, they'll meet the stick. But in other cases, if someone was to run in somebody's house, of course someone would be able to use what they bought to protect themselves.
Yeah, same thing in the Brianna Taylor case, and that's what he testified to, and that's why he got 12 million. You know, he just happened to get a shot off, and then they get 32 shots on that man. 30. Go ahead, Self.
I think the family got the 12 million. Brianna Taylor's family. I think he still has. I think he still has a lawsuit against them.
Oh, okay. I thought they said he got it. Okay. You're right. Taylor's family, 12 million. You're right. And the cop who he shot is suing him.
Yeah, that's gonna get thrown out. That's just ridiculous.
You're supposed to let off a warning shot before you aim at somebody and shoot at them. Like he gave off a warning shot. He tried to disable the person, make it to where they didn't make it to where I can guarantee you 100% he shot at their leg to make sure that they wasn't going to be able to do him any harm. And then they let off 32 shots and killed him.
No, they killed Brianna. He didn't get shot. It's crazy.
No, yeah, I said, oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, he was in the Matrix. Yeah, he was in the He was Neo. Brianna was behind him, and somehow none of those 32 shots hit him. That's amazing.
It is.
Well, they killed Brianna. They tried to kill him.
Yeah.
Facts. And he was. I'm not even sure that he was the drug dealer that they were looking for. No, turns out,
right.
Yeah.
It was supposedly the ex-boyfriend. And
yes.
He had a legal gun, so that means that he wasn't got no trouble with no drugs or nothing.
Which means that they take informant information, these snitches, who were willing to say anything under duress or to be the case. Like when they showed up at that lady in Chicago's house looking for somebody and had her naked. Y'all just paid a lawsuit, Self. You just paid out of your taxpayers' dollars for that. You know what I mean? You know,
Oklahoma did the same thing. We had a judge that we just retired because we found out that he slept with every single district attorney and prosecuting attorney, every single one, and they were all doing cases together. I mean, there's so much. I mean, the things that they're not held accountable for, we're hung in the courtrooms for. I don't understand how we regular citizens have to be held at a higher accountability than our elected officials, than the people that are supposed to be enforcing the justice system. I don't get that ideology.
Well, that judge, he gives a new meaning to recusing himself. He was recusing himself.
Yes, he was.
Over and over, he was recusing himself. Hey, y'all, but we're gonna get into more of this Amir case, and then it'll be open forum at the end if we want to, get into some other cases. But we want to find out what are the alternatives to these no knocks. What are the alternatives? So y'all take 6 minutes. We'll be right back.
Yo. Yes, thank y'all for being here. It's the Self Luv Show. No knock warranty, no knock warrant tyranny. Lock them up. And we've gone through some early stuff, talking about Brianna Taylor.
Rest up.
Got into Locke. But we're going to have some great videos for you to check out.
Fair use. Yeah, it's halftime. What up, Stace Dude? What up, Joe Weezy? Joe Wyatt's in the building. West Sider in the building. See if we can get him to sit down with us. He's an interesting cat, so.
No doubt.
Just don't leave your sandwich around him. He's liable to eat it. Oh, boy. You talk shit all the way from L.A.
We'll be back shortly. Check these videos out.
Hey, sounds like you're driving through a war or something.
Driving through the shot. You know how that be, right? Exactly. You know what? In my definition, house is basically mostly come from disco. It's got a disco sound to it. You know, so house has kind of like a certain sound that it brings.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, house music is, you know, a different type of flow of music. You know, like I say, you had your old disco cuts, you had your old house cuts, you know, stuff like that. You know, a house music, you know, it was a type of music that, you know, brought everybody together. You know, it didn't matter what your background was, what your sexuality was, if you was into men, women, whatever. You know, the whole thing was, you know, bringing everybody together. So, you know, mostly I would be like house is more like unity, you know. And that's what I would go with, unity with a certain sound. You know, it's a certain sound that everybody can dance to, that everybody can move to. You know, a certain environment. House music really isn't a genre. House music always was a bunch of different genres of music. They made it into a genre now. But, you know, like I say, back in the day, you hear, you know, like I say, you hear disco, you hear Bob Marley, you know, you might hear, you know, the Police, Voices in Your Head, you know, stuff like that. But these were different genres of music that, you know, that made house music. And then they kind of built a genre that is house music. But it was a point where house music was discovered, it wasn't made. You know what I'm saying? When these artists made these songs, they weren't targeting house music community. They were just good beating songs that everybody liked. You know, that everybody could relate to, that could dance to. So you had your different type of, you know, your different type of sounds, and like say different genres of music. You know, like say you have the Rolling Stones, Missy, you know, stuff like that. You know, like I say, you had your Bob Marley selection, then you had your disco selection, then you had your overseas selections like Los Niños, you know, stuff like that. You know, I think that's kind of how it lost its way, that they made it into a genre. And like I say, house music was never a genre. It was a combination of genres of music. If you go back and really listen to it, they say you had white artists, black artists, Hispanic artists. You know, it was a different type of thing back then. And so, like I say, house music was basically, you know, discovered. It wasn't made. You know, it was certain songs that was on albums that you didn't hear on the radio, but was played a lot inside the club.
Yeah, and I can say personally attest that this brother has a great range of music, and that's how my ear got range. Because I remember I was little and you would be spinning, bro, like working on your craft, and you had all types of records, and you'd be pulling out stuff. I'm like, man, who is that? And then, you know, y'all would be finding the break beats and all of that. And then when you say like it was discovered, I hear mathematicians say that too. You know, when they find a formula, you know, they say, well, you know, did I discover it, or, you know, or did I create it, or did I discover it? And that's the
right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and that's the big question about art, period.
Oh, shit.
Big ups to production. Big ups.
Big ups. Small ups to me.
I'ma show the world what they don't know. I'ma be the one. I'ma be the one when I'm done. Higher. If I made it this far, I'll go higher. If I made it this far, I can make it anywhere. If I made it this far, if I made it this far, I'll go anywhere.
Welcome back to the Self Luv Show. No knock warrant tyranny. Lock him up. Explored policies about no knock warrants. I'm gonna get into more into mere Locke and talk about what could be alternatives to the no knock. We've had Nick with it. Jay Broken Curse.
Jay Broken Curse. That's a cold name, boy.
Yeah. Facts.
I'ma be the one.
Yes, sir.
I'ma be the one when I'm done.
Yeah.
Tell you what, boy, they all up in the system.
There's something going on.
Yeah, it is. I go anywhere. Anywhere. Big ups to Trife Mac.
Huge ups.
Can y'all hear us?
Yeah, we got you now.
All right.
Let's see here. All right, so we're gonna kick off this second half so we can unpack this note. See if there's any alternatives for 12. We the people, you know, the government is technically the people. So if the government's, I'll be asking this question. You know, apathy is the fuel of tyranny. You know, so if we're apathetic out here, the so-called government can pretty much put their knee on our neck with no repercussions. So cats like, you know, Lil Nick and his mom, cats on the front line, you know, we give them a big ups because if all the people, when all the people stand up, tyranny will disappear.
Yes, fall right away.
Yep. Yep. They can only do what we allow them to do.
Facts.
So let's get into the Amir Locke case, which is recent. We just saw how they busted in and pretty much executed that man. Like, we don't know if that was a hit, you know, or an attempted assassination. Like, right?
Yeah, because that was crazy. You counted it down. It was 7 seconds. They said 9 seconds, but 7 seconds.
Man,
that's not enough time to make a judgment, man.
No, it's not. I agree. And you notice only one cop shot, so that should tell you something right there.
Yeah, it's crazy. He was probably that one. You know what I mean?
The Triple K.
Yeah,
it's one in every bunch.
Facts.
It's one in every bunch. So if I'm gonna put another video in there, should be at the bottom. I want to scroll to his parents, man. His mom first, then we'll talk about it. You know, not that it should matter, but he's a rapper. He was an aspiring musician. Played basketball in high school, and his mom came out and spoke on his behalf, and I thought that was magnanimous. And also, we had a dad in the picture. That's rare in these cases, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said he was about to move to Dallas to be closer to his mother and work on his music.
Yep. Yep. So all you cats with your right to bear arms, just be careful out there. Because who was the guy? He told 12 he had a gun, and it was in his glove box, and they shot him up.
It told him to that's Castile, I think. Told him to get his license, get his ID, and he went to get his ID, and he shot him. Like, he told him to go ahead, go get your ID, and he straight up shot him. It's crazy.
Yeah, and he was telling the man, "I got a concealed carry or what have you."
Yes.
Doing what they train you to do,
right?
You know. So did you get that yourself?
Yes.
All right. So production, go ahead and roll this video, and then we're gonna unpack it. Try to get to where
As I say, my baby boy's name, Amir Ricari Locke.
Protect the women and children.
Each and every one of you are going to learn about Amir Ricari Locke. My son didn't deserve what happened to him.
They got the
He
wrong
was born
one.
and raised in the Twin Cities. He was planning on coming back to Dallas, Texas, where I'm currently at, where he was living as well,
Fair use.
to work on and pursue many goals that he had planned. But on 2/2/22, it was taken away from him. Our son is a deep, deep sleeper. I've always been on the opposite end of the protest and in support of everybody. I lived here for over 25 years.
She is strong.
And I raised both my sons.
Yes. I'll be crying like a biatch.
This is very, very detrimental and heart-wrenching and hard because I was always an advocate for the families that went through this, but never in a million years would I have ever imagined that my son Amir, who is born and raised in the Twin Cities,
Go ahead, Queen.
law-abiding citizen, did everything he was supposed to do, was raised with moral and values, loved by so many, everybody that came in contact with him. He had a beautiful spirit and a beautiful smile. Never would I have imagined that I would be standing up here talking about the execution of my son by
I'm
the
casting
Minneapolis Police
Regina
Department.
King to play her in the movie.
I should not have to be here. I should be able to FaceTime with my son like I did
Facts.
on last Friday. I should be able to tell my son that I love you and he says I love you too. But now I have to do that in spirit. I can't do it in the flesh.
Wow.
That's not right. At the end of the day, I believe that he was executed by the MPD.
Facts.
And I want the police officer that murdered my son to be
Facts.
prosecuted and fired.
Go ahead, Earth. She got through that without one tear, bro.
You're now
you can
going to
stop
hear
it.
from Amir Locke's father, Andre Locke.
You can stop it right here. Pause it right there. All right. Y'all got any commentary on what y'all just heard from the sister?
Yeah, she's strong. I mean, I agree with you. She's not gonna let this roll. So I have a feeling these no
I
knock.
could never, bro. I could never. I'd be crying so bad if I were to lose my son. I could most definitely never. I don't know. My video is not started. I don't know what's up with it. Like, man, I'd be up there crying like a baby if I were to even lose one of my brothers, man. So I can't believe losing something that you created and made with your own body. Like, she's a strong woman.
Facts. Very strong. Hey, Nick, just bounce out and bounce back in. It'll probably start back up.
All right. My internet be acting walk, so if I don't come back in, give it a little bit of time, see if it works.
We got you.
My internet been acting up lately.
Okay, yeah, we'll be here. They probably hacked you. Triple K probably got y'all on monitor.
Hopefully not.
Small ups to the Triple K.
No ups.
Yeah, man, that was a strong sister. I was saying, man, she reminded me of Regina King, who just lost her son.
Yeah, man.
You know, and you got that same lawyer out there. He's back on the scene, the Grim Reaper.
Man.
What's his name?
I don't know his name. You talking about from
Anybody in the chat know his name? Yeah, he shows up. You see him, man, something bad has happened in your family. He's a civil rights attorney. And
yeah. I think they families be contacting him.
yeah, you believe that if you want to.
Think he's running to every time he's running
You're
there.
damn right.
Talking for them already.
Yeah, shows up, waives all the fees. Yeah, they ain't got to call him. You know, but yeah, he shows up and he's already talking settlement. You know, I'd like to see some of these things go to trial.
Yeah, I mean, what? Take the city or whatever to trial.
Yeah, because if they're settling for $12 million, and you're probably asking for $50 million, and you take the quick settlement, why not hear it out in a court of law?
Got a point, but you're putting it up to a jury or a judge.
You're damn right.
You might get nothing.
Yeah, you might get nothing, but it's all about the exposure.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to get something when the mom comes in there. She probably won't be crying, but the dad will. You know, we're going to show him soon. But they showed the family the video before they released it publicly. That's their new policy.
Yeah.
One thing, we're going to play a video later. The MPD came out right away. They referred to the young man as the suspect. They said that he had a gun and he pointed it at 12.
Right.
They said they said that 12 announced their presence before they entered the domicile. None of that was true.
Oh, you know, they lie about everything. So, I mean, it's coming to be like they're a criminal organization.
Coming to be.
Yeah.
They've been the biggest gang in the city since Reconstruction.
Yeah. No, they're a gang, but they're a criminal organization. Goddamn, these people are like, that was a hit.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably moving all the stuff on the street, and if you ain't part of their team, they're gonna come take your drugs and kill you, and you know what I mean. And it probably goes all the way up to the judge, who happened to have been the same judge who was over the George Floyd case.
Wow.
Same judge who signed that warrant.
Yeah, the fact that we call people judges is a issue because it becomes part of their makeup, and they really think they're superior and able to judge on people.
Yeah, they're really a magistrate.
Right. Shouldn't be calling them judges.
Yeah. According to most religions, you shouldn't be judging people anyway.
Right.
You know. I'd like to see stuff. Well, we'll save this for later, things we'd like to see, but go ahead and push it forward to the fair use. We want to hear the silverback on this. It's rare that we have a dad in a picture who steps up. Yeah, he's like me. That's his son, so.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Every one of you that's here today either have a son or a daughter. For each of you that's out here with the press, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. How many of you guys have sons of your own? Let me see you raise your hands. Put yourselves in our shoes.
Can't. Won't.
How does that feel to know that your son is sleeping comfortably in a safe place, peacefully, and someone takes it upon themselves to choose who lives and who dies? I'm burning in the inside. Man, I didn't think my son. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen too many times.
We're like the wildebeest.
Too many times. I have to think of my mother right now. I'm sorry. Let her rest. She'll tell me to straighten it up and speak straight. But and me being one of the stronger ones of the family, I have to get it together. I have 5 sons. I have 4 daughters. Amir was the oldest, so he was the 3rd oldest. I love Amir dearly. I love each of them dearly. Amir was a bright light, and he deserves to be able to shine. I apologize. Amir, there's so much that we can say about Amir. Again, I want you to put yourselves in our shoes. I think about someone kicking your door in, or not even necessarily kicking the door in. If that would have happened, at least he'd have awakened, possibly. But by him being such a deep sleeper, what we saw when the officer kicked the couch, Amir wasn't even moving before then, until the officer startled him. When he kicked the couch, when he aggravated Amir, when he forced Amir to respond, to protect himself, as any law-abiding citizen would do, and has the right to do.
That's right. That's right, yeah.
I definitely agree. We want the officer who took our son's life. We believe that he executed him.
Wow.
Our son, Amir. We believe it. And we definitely want him prosecuted to the fullest. And he needs to be out of there. The same officer has all of these different complaints.
Wow.
You called it.
There's so much that I'd like to say. I don't want to hold my tongue about anything. I just don't want to see it happen to anyone else, to no one's child.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
You know what he wanted to say that he couldn't say. He wants that officer dead. That's what he's feeling now. Nobody ever talks death penalty for these guys.
No, they don't. And that's, tragic because they be on some straight BS. And when you on BS, you know what I mean? You should be treated like everybody else.
And Noop, that was the SWAT team. Okay, so he had a gun. You hit him with a slug. What do you think happened? Because he was holding the gun like this. So you hit him with one slug. It wasn't like he was, you know what I mean? They have no video they could show where you hit him with that first one slug, two slugs, and he's aiming a gun at you. You just filled him full of slugs like you that shook?
He wasn't shook. He was looking for an opportunity. And he executed them. It's like his parents said. He was executed.
Wow. Wow. Once again, rest in peace to that brother, man. Another one gone. And yeah, you can't help but feel like the wildebeest, though, Self. They never think it's them until it's them.
Yeah.
Right? I can go out there and go driving around, get shot up, and then my wife would be, never thought this would happen. You know what I mean? And then she'll be on the front lines or a freedom fighter. And at what point do we not get ahead of the curve? His mom said she was out there standing with other victims.
Yeah. Never, ever thought that it would be her. That's crazy because, he was, like his father said, in a safe place, asleep, until they turned it into an unsafe place. Came in there and killed him.
Yeah, how can it be justified?
Man, it's not justified, but they might justify it, but there's no way that could be justified. So, it's out in the open. They try to hide so much and cover up so much, but
if the poor kid had a criminal past, they'd be running all that out.
Oh, yeah, they'd be running that out. You see, they running out that he had the gun.
Right, which he had a right to have.
Yeah, he was a legally bought gun.
Right.
So,
for all you know, he was trying to drop the gun. He didn't have time to process none of that.
He was just trying to gather himself and wake up.
Yeah.
They kicking it and he grabbed his gun.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what's going on. 7 seconds is not enough time to fully wake up, period.
No, it's not. It's not. And this goes back to the no-knock warrant. Had they been knocking at the door, police,
Yeah.
and he shot through the door, that's something totally different.
I mean, they had a key and they were making sure that they were extra quiet.
And then come in screaming. So if you're going to come in that quiet, they might as well have kept quiet and then just woke them up.
Man, it's got to come to an end.
I concur, bro. It's sickening. Like, it's to the point, bro. We were down at Beta, and I was telling somebody, it wasn't a noob, but I was telling somebody, man, I don't watch TV, and I tuned out to all this. And he was like, well, you don't want to figure out what happened in Minnesota. And I'm like, wow. You know what I mean? I'm like, wow, again. So I had a chance. I didn't really have a chance to really tune into it until I got back to the crib.
Right.
And it's happening so often that, is that a good word? You're becoming numb to it?
Well, I'm definitely not getting numb to it. I'm getting more enraged every one. It's burning the fire. Something has to be done. Yeah. If it takes us to do it, then I got to do it.
Yeah, but something's been done after all these cases. Something's always done. They're writing this law and doing this and that and tweaking this and training.
They don't care about that part. These people that's running this stuff need to go. Like, all of them. Like, all of them in Congress and the Senate federally that are holding up the people's wishes for the lobbyists. They need to go. We need a change.
And isn't this what Biden ran on? He and Kamala Harris, police reform, wasn't that one of their biggest things in the platform?
They're liars. They don't say nothing that they intend to do.
I don't even think he's had a comment. Neither one of them has even commented on this case. I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, they don't care.
They can't care.
They don't. It's more important to get the jab.
Are you saying that they only care about the votes? So they can keep getting.
They only
Is that what you're saying?
That's the only time they come around. It's the only time they got anything for us, which is just speech.
One thing about Donald Trump, he'd have said something. It would have been it would have been ignorant, but he'd have said something. You got a country that's ready to go up in flames.
Yeah.
What kind of leadership is that, Self? Wouldn't you fly down to Twin Cities and, like you're saying, talk to those people and cuss them out and stuff like that?
It's hard for them to get this guy to do a speech correctly, let alone take care of business that should, be relevant to the black people. If you don't know who to vote for, you ain't black. What the hell are you talking about? Get the
Yeah, that smile, you get a. Yeah. Gil's cat called them tomatoes. That was hilarious. You get around a tomato and an older tomato, and they start saying all that stuff. You'd be like, what? They're usually not the president of the United States when they drop that. It might be an older person at your job or something.
Archie Bunker type.
Yeah, Archie Bunker type. He's from that era too. Yeah.
These people that's in office are too old. They can't come with nothing new. That's all they want to do is continue the same crap. And they're the only ones that's living good. Them and the rich people. They forgot all about where they came from. They ain't trying to take care of us at all. It's ridiculous. And enough is enough.
Well, I don't know if you saw the press conference. Mayor Jacob Fry got up there with the interim police chief, and they were talking about, she was still like covering it up, man. And you had a sister.
Yeah.
She's a civil rights attorney. You saw that?
Yeah.
And when she got up to interrupt, 12 was on her, and she was like, I don't have no gun. And then at the end of it, they decided that they're going to walk out. As soon as it got heated and people weren't just taking it up the bum, that BS up the bum, they walked out, bro. I just loaded it up for production.
Okay, because I didn't see the whole thing. I just saw her talking to them.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're going to play that because that's a strong sister.
Right.
Fair use. It's around the 13-minute mark when she starts. We're going to play that, and then we're going to wrap it up, pretty much. Yeah, the people are waking up, bro.
Yeah.
They took over the whole press conference.
Good.
Because she was up there talking that police talk. And they put her there. She wants to be the new chief. And you're doing the same thing that everybody else is doing.
You said 13 minutes?
Yeah, up around that 13-minute mark. Fair use, y'all.
All right, when she first walks up. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, she was right and real.
Yeah, she's basically saying she wasn't going to be a part of the farce. She can't be a part of the farce. She didn't sign up for that.
I'm absolutely positive they will take a look at that. Of course, we all know these events happen very rapidly, and as there's a gun emerging in your direction, you're forced to make a split-second decision about when it's a threat.
Chief Huffman, hold on. Chief Huffman, no, do not. Okay, I'm not a threat. I don't have a gun. Okay, don't treat me like I'm a threat. This is what I would call the anatomy of a cover-up. This is unacceptable. I'm sorry, it is. When I agreed to work with you on the work group, we talked about the importance of transparency and accountability. And here, what we are seeing is business as usual. And you know this, Amelia. You know this, Jacob. I don't know how you guys slept that night. I couldn't sleep at night. Tears from a mother's perspective, thinking about what happened. I saw the picture of Amir. He looks like a boy. My son is 17 years old. He has slept on his friends' couches for sleepovers. So we cannot sit here and whitewash this and pretend that it's okay.
Whitewash.
You knew that I was not going to stand for police violence and a push for accountability, yet you asked me to be a part of the work group. And I knew what I thought I was signing up for. This isn't what I signed up for. I understand if you're not comfortable having me continue to co-chair, that's your prerogative. I signed up to help bring recommendations because we're tired of being killed. We're tired of the cover-ups. We're tired of the excuses. And to hide behind the St. Paul Police Department, the deadliest police force in the state of Minnesota, is unacceptable. You all had no business agreeing to carry out a warrant, and now you're claiming that's part of their investigation. You don't know. Well, why the hell did you all sign up to do this in the first place? There was a homicide that happened at 1-something in the morning on Hennepin Avenue. Someone was killed, and then the person drove away in a black SUV. They're still at large in Minneapolis, potentially a threat to residents. But you all go do something for St. Paul Police, and now you're trying to hide behind that decision. It's not acceptable. We are ready for change. When the people voted to re-elect you, Jacob, they not only showed that they wanted to see a new leader, right? Not saying you're not the person who got re-elected, you got re-elected. But what they were expecting is a new beginning. That's why they gave you more power and authority. So that is what we want to see as the residents of Minneapolis. We don't want to see cover-ups. We don't want to see whitewashing. People are asking very simple questions that have still not been answered. Amelia, you're saying you want to be the chief? Then act like it. Demonstrate integrity. Don't cover up for what those cops did.
The chief
if they knew that the kid had a gun as he started waking up, say, drop your weapon. They didn't do that. One cop opened fire and took the life of a child who was trying to go back into his blanket. Any mom can see what happened there. So I can't tolerate the whitewashing. I'm sorry, y'all. We can't do this. I know you have your narrative. I know you have your script. I know you guys didn't personally go shoot somebody. But you do have the opportunity to make it right, to talk about the fact that you changed the no-knock warrant policy. Where's the evidence of that? That wasn't present on what happened to Amir Locke. So if I'm going to be the co-chair of this group, I'm expecting strong leadership, I'm expecting integrity, and I'm expecting accountability. You guys aren't going to waste my goddamn time. And I don't care, you guys had your security trying to stop me. I can be used to come speak the truth about what needs to happen, but when it's time to call out these inconsistencies, these inaccuracies, the lack of information, I got to sit in the back or even not even be invited. I'm not here for it. We fought too long, too hard. There's people in jail, including Cortez Rice, trying to get the court to show what's happening in the courtroom so people can see what's going on. People have put their lives on the line because we're ready for change. So we're expecting from this point forward for you guys to do something different. I'm not playing. We're not here for it. We're not here for it. I'm only committed to working on this work group if you all are committed to being honest and transparent and not covering up the bullshit. Thank you.
Let it roll.
Pictures of his gun, but no pictures of the gun of the officer who killed him.
You hear that?
Why did you not release that information? You know, this man did not shoot anyone. He did not discharge his weapon. Why did you release his gun? That was a disgusting vilification of this man. That is inexcusable. It is totally disgusting that you would release a picture of his gun even though he never fired his weapon. And you know he didn't fire his weapon because you had both seen the video. This is the kind of lack of transparency that Nikita is exactly talking about when you send out these sensationalistic pictures of his gun, a man who has never committed a crime.
That's why they didn't want the body cams.
Right. Rather the pictures of the officer's gun.
So, Miss Gross, thank you for being here. And
they lied on the police report, so.
Thank you for your strong words. You acknowledged and rightfully pointed out that at this moment in time, we need accountability, we need leadership, and we need transparency. You asked whether we wanted you to continue as co-chair. The answer is yes. We are dead serious about seeing the necessary changes through. And the necessary changes start with being honest and transparent. That begins with all of you here today and releasing body camera footage in the immediacy so that people can see exactly what is in it, good, bad, or ugly. But it doesn't stop there. It goes on to getting the necessary facts of the case, and I know, speaking from experience, that there is an ongoing tension between getting things out quickly and getting things right. We want to get things right. We want to, excuse me, we want to gather the necessary evidence to make sure that we are not telling you something that is inaccurate now only to correct it a day later.
Why was Amir Locke referred to as a suspect?
And so I'm going to ask...
Why was Amir Locke referred to as a suspect in the MPD's press release?
I don't know. So,
yeah, you don't know.
Why was his gun pictures released?
So, but we could do one question at a time. We do want to answer the questions, but I would also prefer
I wanted to hear an answer to that.
To your question, I do not know.
Does the chief know? Can the chief answer that question?
Go ahead.
So yesterday, at the time that we were putting out the press release, we didn't have as much information as we have now, of course. And so it's unclear, certainly unclear yesterday, but it remains unclear
They all lied on the police
Mr.
report.
Locke is connected to St. Paul's investigation.
She can't say that.
And more information will be coming as St. Paul digs further into the case.
Refer to him as a suspect?
Because they lied on the police report.
Yep. She can't say that, though.
Let's call it. No. Was anyone apprehended as part of this? Also, when will you release your search warrant? How is
See, when the real question started, they walked off.
You are a murderer! You owe us answers.
This is a shame. This is what we have been fighting against. This is what we've been fighting against since George Floyd was killed. Running away from accountability and transparency. This is shame. Residents or people in Minneapolis need to know this cannot continue. They killed a young man who was sleeping. He did not even have a chance. And for a lot of the media already shared the one where he had the gun holding it. You know, if you are anybody who's a gun owner, that if your finger is out, you are preparing, but you are not ready to fire because you don't even know who's in front of you. This young man did not have a chance. This was Brianna Taylor in Minneapolis, and even worse. And the mayor and the chief are running away from questions.
You can kill it.
I have to say it.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about, Self. Some stuff's going to happen.
Yeah. It's got to, because, man, we're tired of this. It's enough. And they think they can just keep pushing it.
Don't they? They got the camera and they just lie about what we seeing.
How you do that when you know you got the camera on? Y'all still lie.
Right.
It's going to come out.
Right. Right. In the Brianna Taylor case, they didn't even have their cameras on. They claim we don't have our cameras on in these types of, because they don't give up their tactical,
He's talking about he knocked on it, pounded on the door.
Yeah.
3 times. Six different knocks and saying police before they broke in.
And none of the neighbors heard it.
Yeah, because they didn't do it. He must have been like,
police,
we're coming in. It's police. We got a search warrant. Outside it, because nobody heard it. And I saw the interview with the cop too, and with Michael Strand.
Oh yeah, I don't know what's in his heart, but I know what's not in his heart.
He's not sorry for what happened. That's for sure.
He's a pig.
Yeah, talking about he came in and his gun was right at his level. He looked right in the barrel. If he looked right in the barrel, why didn't he shoot you right in the face?
And why you didn't get why you ain't get a shot off first?
That's what I'm saying. Why he said he was pointing down, like
right,
which would make sense that he hit him in the thigh.
Yeah, he said he was, he thought it was some common burglars, some kids. Normally you let off a couple shots, they will run off. You know what I mean? Because they're not, wearing body armor and you know what I mean? They're trying to come in when nobody's home and rob the place.
It's just sickening, man. His whole attitude was horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do you think about them just walking off like that when the real questions happen?
I expected at this point. And that's why when we had officials like that, they gotta go. Like, them people need to go ahead and do whatever they gotta do to eject him from being the mayor.
So, bro, these guys are SWAT. They're the most highly trained for situations like this. Is that what they're training them? As soon as you see a gun, just shoot 15 times and make sure all the officers are safe?
They sure didn't look like SWAT, because I saw handguns. SWAT be coming in with assault rifles.
Yeah, they said it was SWAT. So what do you think should happen to the shooter?
Well, he's got plenty of stuff on his record where he need to just go ahead and be tried for murder.
Yeah, they were pushing for him to resign. You'd think if he had any personal pride.
No, he's keeping his KKK up.
His 401k KKK?
That's what, yeah. He's keeping sure that he, keeps what, his whole purpose of being on the force.
Well, here's the magic question. After the Brianna Taylor death, many states claim to have reformed the no-knocks. What would you do to prevent this from moving forward? What's the simple solution?
No more no-knocks, period. Period. That's got to be eliminated. So it's only used against minority people. Period.
Period. Period.
Mainly on us, my people.
Period. Because when people come into anyone's domicile, if you got a gun, people are going to use it. If you can't use that in your house to protect yourself, where can you use it? So we're in agreement. Full ban on the no-knock warrants by federal decree.
Yeah, across the country.
Yeah. Did you hear that? Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. I mean, that's what they got elected by our people to do, is reform this. Haven't heard anything about it. Heard a lot about agent hate bills and stuff.
Well, you know, we we're not gonna make them, we're not gonna hold them accountable though, because they Democrat, they good old Democrat, they good old Democrat, and that's who we vote for. So they gonna do something for us at some point. So, they're gonna do something after we vote them in. After we give them our vote, they say they're gonna make the promises then. Well, we still waiting. That's what I'm saying. We gotta be patient. It's still 2 more years, son. He gonna do something. They gonna do something for us. So what? He eulogized the Grand Wizard of KKK. Nobody else wanted to do it. So what? Right. So what? Barack Obama didn't want him to be his vice president. Yeah. So what? Barack was divisive. He divided the peoples, because So we was a good old Democrat too. So he did. What did he do? Yeah. Anything that we haven't covered on this topic, man? I just want to say a big rip to Brianna Taylor and Amir Locke. This is a shame that we keep coming here, and heartfelt condolences to their families and their friends, because I know they got to be in pain right now.
Facts. That doesn't ever go away.
Facts. So anything you want to add, man, as we wrap it up, or we pretty much did it?
Yeah, we pretty much did it.
All right. Well, normally this is where we give the answer to the riddle, but Ace2U solved it. So we're not going to repeat that.
We should repeat it because, if someone didn't join in late.
All right. Well, it was a proverb riddle. I found a whole batch of those, so if those are going to be dope coming through. There were some that was a little more tricky. I wanted to warm y'all up with that one. Under no circumstances compute the number of your barnyard fowl previous to their incubation. What is the proverb? And the answer was, don't count your chickens before they hatch. I like that. I'm going to make up my own so they can't Google it. All right. So here we go, Self Love. The February 16th show, that's going to be determined. I got 2 guests in mind, 2 great guests in mind. So as soon as we get that, as y'all know, we're going to do a promo video and get that out accordingly. And on Mouthpiece Included tomorrow, I think Little Nick's going to be on the show with the Silverbacks. He came up with a topic. It's a pre-Super Bowl show. But of course, that's a politics show. We're not going to just talk football. So the topic is, should the black first, should the B1 community, should we cancel the Super Bowl? Should we cancel the NFL by now? It's a serious question. How long should we continue to take it up the bum from the owners?
Right. Ain't that some crap?
Yes, crap.
He own you? Wait a minute. That mean you like a slave? Indigenous. They don't call them slaves no more. It's indentured servants. Oh, that's right. I don't think we can say slavery no more. It's the critical race theory stuff, right? That's exactly what it is. Indentured servants. What no damn indentured servants? You were slave.
Yeah, your kids were slaves. Your kids were slaves, and that belies the difference between an indentured servant who was working to pay off a debt. But yeah. All right, so I'm gonna toss it over to this brother to my left for wordsmiths. Final words out there.
R.I.P. to Brianna Taylor and Amir Locke. We gotta keep saying their names till they stop the no knocks. We have to get inflamed with that burning desire to bring an end to this injustice. I don't know about you, but I'm tired as hell. Every other case makes it harder to tell. Our children, anything real. Because time will reveal if we did anything or not. We got to plan and plot to make sure all this stuff stop. They can't be allowed to kill us with impunity. And the only reason they can is because we don't show unity. We don't come together. We let them separate us in every form and fashion. Old and young, light and dark, dumb and smart. We gotta all embark on a mission of one. Get rid of all of their stuff and create our own one. Our own institutions. We need restitution. We need to separate, no inclusion. Because they just holding us back. And this shit is whack. Words.
Yeah, they're creating a lot of confusion. Yeah, I put a stamp on that diplomatic immunity. That's well said, Brother Wordsmith. Well said.
Much appreciation.
Genetic recessive, blue eyes, blonde hair, and white skin. Albinism apparently was a sin to the original man. African, so the mutants travel north of the
bullets are boomerang.
Europeans later, the first race haters.
Stand your ground.
The devil's alpha to the faith.
Murder is suicide.
Yeah. An eye for an eye.
Tooth for a tooth. Silence is violence.
See something, say something.
12. Greed plus ego over fear. That's how you create a slave.
Facts. Charity plus humility times love is freedom.
That's how you free a man. Do not, under any circumstance, don't answer questions.
At the same time, question everything.
Fear is cap. Fear ain't real. It's all up in your dome.
So vibrate love. That's what we own.
That's what we own. Forgiveness and charity. Yeah, well, those are the highest love vibrations.
Facts. So do something charitable for a so-called enemy and end the beef.
Yeah, take some Krispy Kremes down there to your local precinct. Man, the elders tell me that healthy people heal thy people.
For sure, because you know hurt people will hurt people.
Hey, free granddad, free the old man, get Larry Hoover up out that joint.
Free Chief Malik, Jeff Ford.
The more I think about it, free all the guys, man.
Facts, because prison is slavery.
Hey, y'all move like St. Pedro. Keep your eyes on Yahshua. Walk on that H2O.
Yeah. Move mountains.
That mountain?
Yeah. Yep. So all you need is the faith of a mustard seed, and we got way more than that.
Mustard seeds are pretty tiny, bro.
Facts.